What do Chris Pratt, Jimmy Kimmel, and Jamie Lee Curtis all have in common? They're getting cancelled, of course. Well, Chris Pratt and Jamie Lee Curtis are. Jimmy got his show axed instead. Oh, and Disney are being boycotted, but we'll save that for tomorrow. Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters.
I crown you Queen of the Woke!
Let's chat about it. Please keep it friendly in the chat and let me know what you think about cancel culture. I personally hate cancel culture of any kind. It's not a secret. Now, the entertainment industry being my niche, I am able to follow the cancel culture that goes on in the entertainment industry on this channel. Cancel culture in the entertainment industry over the last week has been extremely rife, more so than normal. It seems that the second you say something that is not the right view on both sides, in this case, you will get into instant trouble. Now, for this, I steered clear of TikTok because otherwise I would still be there. So I decided to look at the fallout and the reactions to what Chris Pratt, Jimmy Kimmel, and Jamie Lee Curtis have said. So we'll take to X, first of all, to look at what people have said in response to Chris Pratt talking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So Chris Pratt said, "Praying for Charlie Kirk right now, for his young wife and young children, for our country. We need God's grace. God help us." So that's what he said. A perfectly considerate response that wasn't laughing in the face of Charlie Kirk. Now here's some of the fallout. "Praying for you to get effing fired from Marvel. Chris, go F yourself. Great post. Good to know you liked him so much. I will continue to boycott everything you're in. Sorry for ever defending you. This guy prays for Yahtzees." So that was some of the fallout. Not all of it. There was more. And I can imagine that this will continue. I did see, and I showed you one, that people were saying that he should be fired. There were loads more than just the one that I showed you. However, I did come across this post, which was from Truth Conquers All. Just a couple of days ago, the left was celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder due to his speech. During that time, they called for Marvel to fire Chris Pratt for praying for Kirk's family. The next day, they are mad because Jimmy Kimmel got fired for lying and SH1T ratings. Suck it. Yes. We all know by now that Jimmy Kimmel's show was taken off the air indefinitely for his remarks. Now, this is what he said. This quote is taken from The Guardian because, obviously, copyright. I don't want to deal with that, so I took it from The Guardian instead. Marga was attempting to score political points from the killing during one of his evening monologues, which was recorded before Utah prosecutors released more information about the alleged killer Tyler Robinson. Kimmel suggested Trump's political movement, MAGA, wanted to exploit the situation. The MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it, he said. So that was what his show was removed for. Nexstar chose to preempt the airings of the show, and it followed with Disney saying that it would be taken off indefinitely. Do I like it? No. I think that people have the right to work, and there will be many people who work on that show who will lose their jobs from that. Jimmy and Disney need to meet an agreement should those people keep their jobs. But who knows what they're going to do. I will say that in entertainment, there are, in my experience, some type of clause or policy that would prevent you from making remarks like the one that he had made that would have been written into your contract or policy. Like I said, now I don't know if there are any types of morality clauses that would have been in his contract, but it would have gone against something with perhaps in their sponsor agreement too, potentially. Hence why he was pulled off air, potentially. Okay, I'm just saying that. Just a quick note as well about the people who lost their jobs for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. I think that's wrong as well. The doxing that has gone on there in many aspects, that shouldn't have happened. That was wrong. No, that was definitely wrong. And I will also add that we also do not know what was in those people's contracts and policies for social media posts as well. Some companies are stricter than others. Maybe they can take it to tribunal. I don't know. Now, with Jimmy, I did hear a rumor, and it is just that, from more than one person, that they were looking for a reason to remove the show off the air because of the dwindling ratings. Now, in the UK, in most cases, they would just pull it. So my question is, why would you wait for a reason when the ratings should be enough? Maybe just things are different in the USA. I don't know. But apparently also The View is being looked at. Now, lastly, we also have Jamie Lee Curtis. She is also under fire. She went on the WTF podcast several days back, and I've also heard the clip. She got very emotional about the death of Charlie. Now, she originally called him Charlie Christ by mistake, but it gets corrected. And she explains it's because she was thinking about what she was going to say. And here is the rest of the quote on the screen right now, which has been on the screen for a while. I disagreed with him on almost every point I ever heard him say, Curtis said in the episode released on Monday, September 15th. But I believe he was a man of faith, and I hope in that moment when he died that he felt connected to his faith, even though his ideas were abhorrent to me. She continued, I still believe he's a father and a husband and a man of faith, and I hope whatever connection to God means that he felt it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that statement. I think, in my opinion, that it felt perfectly genuine. However, it did not go down very well at all. Let's take a look at these reactions. So this is from Kangmin Lee. Now, Kangmin Lee is actually quoting something here, and it's the response to what Pop Bass has said. So Kangman Lee says, Jamie Lee Curtis, a rabid lefty, Black Lives Matter LGBTQ advocate, is now a conservative racist for not celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk beyond parody. And he's referencing right down the bottom there, a Zionist, a PDF file, and now a conservative racist. That was the remark in response to Pop Bass's tweet. And then we've got this one. So this is Reddit Lies. Redditors now despise Jamie Lee Curtis for being upset that Charlie Kirk was murdered. Yeah, I can't deny this one really stings. Not sure how I'm going to process that one of my favourite actors of all time is a total F-tard. And then somebody else says, I just collapsed. I can't believe it. All she had to do was keep her mouth closed, and now it's an absolute betrayal. And then these people have said, I believe Jamie Lee Curtis's response to Charlie Kirk's murder came across as performative. However, I'll give her credit for her kind words, which were better than silence. If more celebrities spoke out, it could further underscore how misguided those celebrating the act are. Okay. And then this person says, Jamie Lee Curtis crying over Charlie Kirk's death on a podcast. You have a trans daughter, you utter muppet. That doesn't stop Jamie Lee Curtis from being able to express sadness over what has happened, though, does it? This person says, if TikTok is good for anything, it's a good belly laugh. Someone's response to seeing that Jamie Lee Curtis was crying over Charlie Kirk's death, and this person's highlighted the response. I'm going to watch Halloween and root for Michael Myers for the first time. And then this person says, she is an actress. Okay, just to remind you of that, people, she is an actress. She still trampled on his ideas while apologizing. She should have said, I can't believe I lost my way. I was wrong. Charlie was right. That would be an effing apology. This person says, I didn't hear an apology at all. Just an actor pretending she didn't spew hate about him and POTUS, reliving herself of guilt just to start up the rhetoric after she gets all of you to give her money. And I'm guessing that's referencing the Freakier Friday movie, which actually was quite good, to be honest. Now, I do not know exactly what she should be apologizing for. Having democratic views, I don't think there's anything to apologize for with that. I just want to highlight that I don't think she's being performative or pretending or acting. When these statements are made about actors who are having emotional reactions to something that has happened, this is what people who disagree with them or do not like them do. Okay, how do I know that? I've had it since I was about 12. That's how I know. There will be people out there who will not believe her reactions because of her job. I do. I believe it's a genuine reaction. Okay. I've had people over the years, because of my job, not believe me when I have an emotional reaction to something. They just tell me I'm acting or I'm pretending or stop overreacting, something like along those lines. Everyone is getting cancelled everywhere for any sniff or statement that contradicts the thought narrative. With everything that has happened in the last week, put a stop to cancel culture in the entertainment industry? I don't know. What do you think? Chat about it, don't shout about it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out some of the other content, and I will see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you for watching today. Don't forget you can join me on my other platforms as well. I've got YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, X, TikTok, Instagram, Locals, Substack, and I also have a Discord. Everything is linked below.